All right, we've got for sale here a 32 pill amplifier. It's an X-Force amplifier. It's all Toshiba 2879. So it's the original Toshiba, Japanese Toshiba transistors, not the fake Chinese, not the DIs, not the HGs or any other brand that's out nowadays, but all 32 pill Toshiba 2879s in this amplifier. It's had the 6 fans upgraded over to a blower. So what I've added to it since I've gotten it, I've added the blower on there, got it all wired in, mounted up. I've added a sense circuit, key-in circuit with a good bypass tune. I've retuned the amplifier, added power wires to it, and then added a relay, different stuff. This thing was hooked up together and actually ran as a 64 pill in the past. But anyway, I've got it all tip-top and in good shape and ready to rock and roll, so I'm going to make a video of it and post it up for sale. It's a 32 pill Toshiba amplifier right here. This blower is going to run a little bit louder because I have it on a floating power supply. It's at 19.45 volts floating. When I cut the fan on, it goes to like 18.7, or when they'll cut the blower on rather. Yeah, 18.7. It goes over to 18.7 volts just by cutting the blower on, so you can tell it's a floating power supply. Fat boy power supply right here. You see on the meter down here it shows somewhere around 19 volts or so, and then 19.45 up there. Like I said, I cut it on, it goes down to 18.7. So 18.7 volts by just cutting the fan on. And whenever I modulate everything, got everything in line, it's probably going to pull down to around 15 volts or maybe even a touch less than that. So when you hear this thing at the floating voltage, this thing is going to sound a lot louder than it would be in anybody's mobile application, or if they hook this to a switching supply or batteries or anything of the sort, because this thing is like ramped up a little higher because of the higher float voltage right there in this particular application. This is just the only thing I have big enough to test something this large and make a decent test out of it. But this thing works incredible, so much better than 6 fans in here. Like, you can hold your hand back there and you can feel a tremendous amount of air moving through. So the way these things are like force air, cooled here, so the air comes in here and then it gets forced out a slot that's made in the front and then forced out the back of the heatsink. So it keeps the heatsink cool and everything inside there, but mainly so it can keep flowing through that heatsink to keep everything cool. But like I said, it's got a lot more, better pressure and anything I've ever felt on the back of it there. A lot better than what the 6 fans would be in these originally. So these Toshiba transistors, you don't want nothing failing, and heat's #1 killer there. All right, so we'll get on to the test right here. I've just got a Striker 955, nothing fancy done to it, just a good tune out, and then that's going to be going into a Fat Boy 4-pill HG 2879 amplifier. So just a 4-pill HG being driven with a Striker with just a tune up done on the Striker, and then that's going to go into the 32 pill on this floating power supply. So we'll get on with the test here. I will show the output of the 4-pill first. We'll go ahead and just put this on PEP here. Peak scale here, 5,000 watt slug. We're reading the center scale up here, so the 10 here would be 1,000 watts. Go ahead and modulate this, and we're modulated to, I don't know, a little, what, 700, no, was it 800 watts or so, a little better than 800 watts, 820 watts. So 820 watts peak is what we got there. We'll look and see what we have on average. Looks like about 400 watts average or so, roughly. All right, so that's cool. All right, so now let's go ahead and cut on the amplifier here. 18.7. We'll go ahead and just throw a dead key, see what we're keying here. 5,000 watt slug, center scale. We're keying about 1,800 watts. And it's dipping down to 15.3. And you hear how much quieter that is? It's just loud because of the higher voltage. And when I modulate it, you can get a hair quieter, and that'll be at the realistic voltage that you'll be running at. So 5,000 watt slug here, reading the center scale. We'll modulate it, see what kind of average output we have. Looks like about 3,200 bird there. Look at the 10,000 watt slug. So now we're reading the bottom scale. It's 2,000 here. At the 40s, 4,000. We'll see what we have there. Looks like about 3,600 bird is what it shows here on the little larger slug. I'm going to flip on the peak kit here, and we'll see what kind of peak output we have going on. Reading the bottom scale again, 8,000 here, 10,000 here. right, it's like about 7,900 watts. So 7,900 peak is what we're producing there. So got some fantastic numbers out of it. Let's see, I can check my bypass. Let me just cut this off, and I can cut this off too, and then I'll be checking my bypass flowing through here and also flowing through here. I'll just show you that SWR is going to be low. That's fully modulated there, and you see it's a 1-to-1 flowing through everything, and then going into my dummy load. Also, I did not trace my wires to show you, but I've literally got it straight wired, you know, into my 5,000 watt bird dummy load here. So just a straight wire from there goes over here, you know. Oh, here, let me do that trace a little better. Straight wire here, follow it around. I need to zoom my camera out or something. Around, goes right into the bird meter. Flows through here, goes right here. This wire, sorry, I ain't holding it on the screen well. Apologize for the poor camera making skills here. Alright, there we go. See my hands on that there. And you see that is the antenna side of the box. Input side of the box comes back up from this jumper right here. That jumper, I know you can't trace this all the way around, but it flows through here, comes back out over here, and that jumper leads right into the output side of that. Input side of that's going back over to my radio. Anyway, I just want to trace those jumpers, just show you that I'm not, you know, ain't no trickery, nothing. Just going into a striker radio, into a straight forward pill, straight into my dummy load right there. So one more time. Oh, and I didn't show the voltage, so I'm going to show that one more time too. I'm going to fully modulate it, show the peak watts again, cut this on, cut this on, cut this on. There we go, 8,000 at 14.6. And there's how quiet the fan gets. Reasonable fan volume there for sure. 8,000 peak, 14.6, and then whatever the average output was again. I don't know why I'm showing. What am I seeing there? Oh, I'm just keying, my bad. Like, what in the heck was that showing so low for? Alright, so average output, I was just throwing a dead key. Alright, so bottom scale average output, and we're back up to our 3,600 bird. So, doing good. Fantastic numbers. And like I said, I ordered to make somebody an awesome amplifier. 3,600 bird with, what, 400 bird watts going in roughly, 380 bird watts, whatever it was. Doing a good job. And this is just hitting them with a 4-pill. So 4-pill at 14.6 volts. 4-pill, driven with a striker, going into the 32. 14.6 volts under full load, you know, while everything's modulated. So 14.6 volts, it's making 8,000 peak and 3,600 bird out with 300 and something bird going in, 363, whatever. Alrighty. Like I said, I just want to make that video, and like I said, there ain't nothing spectacular done to this. I could hit this thing with a comp 29, this thing would probably do 5,000 average or more, but I was just showing just a random radio that I had that was ready that I could test with and go through the motions with. And I would have hooked all this equipment, but my stuff ain't rated to handle 10,000 watts. But anyway, appreciate it. I got any questions, like I said, it's for sale, and it's all ready to go.